we bring to you Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, I know CeeDee Lamb afterwards was talking about, hey, I feel like I can be ready for the Green Bay game. Absolutely, for sure. Is it just too early to say that, or do you feel optimistic about that possibility?
I think we've got to evaluate the full thing, see how he is moving around as the day goes, and then certainly he's got a high ankle sprain, and every one of those are different. And we'd love to have him back for Green Bay, but at the same time, we also got to, understand the injury is what it is, and it'll play out.
How much does the game plan change when Lamb gets injured and now Pickens is your number one receiver?
Well, I think it changes quite a bit when when you're able to have both out there. It's a huge plus. Certainly, Pickens can do a great job for us in the role, but I think everything takes one step back. From there, I think Turpin's doing a great job for us. But when you got all three of those guys out there, it's a lot for the defense to take a look at. And we are running the ball well when we do run it, and Ferguson's doing a good job there in the middle. But, when you miss a player like CeeDee, it certainly makes a difference.
Now, speaking of the running game, like you said, y'all have been running the ball very well, but also we saw it yesterday. There have been two really, really hurtful turnovers from the running backs in these first three games. Do you feel like that strip fumble from Tyreek Stevenson kind of changed the trajectory of the game yesterday?
No, I mean, it's a tough one. Don't get me wrong. If one of the big things, that's just reality. We're not getting the ball and we're not protecting the ball. I mean, yesterday we have 4 turnovers and we get 9. It's not a good recipe in this league when you have that type of differential in that area. And we've got to continue to work on protecting the ball. But I think, Javonte came back and was running the ball really well. I think, if anything, it had him running harder, but because he was wanting to make up for it. But, obviously those things hurt you, and especially on the road in a game like that, a turnover's certainly something that is not what you're trying to avoid. So, we just have to move forward and continue to stress to protect the ball. And we got to, obviously we got several things on defense that, we've got to execute on better. And right now getting the ball is certainly not happening. We got to be better at that.
Yeah. And Stephen, the first game after we talked, I felt like, hey, this team did not look sloppy at all. And for lack of a better word, the last couple of games have kind of felt pretty sloppy defensively. Do you think that's a fair use of that word?
Yeah, I don't know if it's sloppy, if it's lack of execution, but we're certainly, I don't think this is something where you look at it and say, hey, it's personnel issues. I just, right now, we're not executing. We're not getting the job done, and we're giving up way too many explosive plays. We are getting them in third downs at times, but then we're not executing on third down. And this is just something that, we've just got to be better all the way around on defense in terms of executing. And I think that's a big part of it right now.
And I just want to make sure I heard the first part of that correctly. You do not believe it is talent or personnel issues that have led specifically to some of these problems?
No, I think this is certainly it's execution. I mean, you always want your best guys out there, but that's no excuse. We've got to go out. We've got to execute. Everybody, all 11 have to execute their assignments, and good things will happen. But right now, we're not getting that done. We're giving up way too many explosive plays. We're not getting the ball, and we're not making the plays we need to make on third down.
I've heard this mentioned multiple different times, Stephen, so I was kind of curious your thoughts on it. How much does 3 straight different defensive coordinators in 3 straight years do you think affects the way things are, especially this early in the season too?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly believe that we're going to go chop wood and get back to work, and we're going to execute better with each week. I mean, there's no question. I mean, you don't get around that you've had 3 straight coordinators three straight different coordinators, and we just have to work through that. It happens to teams. Teams get new coordinators, and ultimately they can go out and execute and play good defense in this particular case. But we've got a lot of work to do here.
The other term that keeps being brought up, I mean, through the game and afterwards is not enough pass rush, and they keep bringing up Micah's name. Do you think Micah would be the difference for this defense right now and this team's current record?
I'm worried about the guys who are on this football team, and we've got to figure out how to execute, play winning defense, and make it happen. With each week with the guys we have. I mean, every team has challenges with injuries, with different things, and that's no excuse. We've got to go out. We've got to execute the defense, and I believe in Coach Schottenheimer and Coach Eberflus. He's been successful in this league, for many, many years, and I believe they'll get the job done.
Now, one of the people that is on the roster, you talked a lot last week about the ramp-up process for Jadeveon Clowney. I know, obviously, he was inactive yesterday, but do y'all think he's going to be on track then to play against the Packers?
Yes, fully expect him to be ready to come in and help. And, we're going to look at, obviously, be looking at this film very closely and, seeing exactly where our shortfalls are and seeing where we can do some things differently to have success. And I certainly believe, we've got the coaching staff and we've got the players to execute and play good defense.
Can you walk us through, like, historically or going into the hire, what is it about Eberflus's track record that made you believe to begin with that he was the right guy for this defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he went on to Indy, was named coordinator from his time here in Dallas. He did a lot of great things here under Marinelli, and then, he had top-of-the-line defenses at Indy to a point where, this league seems to go with offensive coordinators as head coaches, but he made an impact in Indy as a coordinator there and had all top defenses. And then, he didn't call the defense his first year in Chicago, but then once he started calling the defense again, they had really good defenses in Chicago. So track record's very good. We're very comfortable with Coach Eberflus and how he coaches and what he brings to the table, and certainly understand, everybody's going to look hard at anything that's not having success right now, and we're certainly struggling on that side of the ball.
Trayvon Diggs has had his own series of struggles this year. I know he popped up on the injury report, and then he got hit in the shoulder. I know he went back in the game. For everything you know, Trayvon Diggs is coming out of that game feeling all right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's obviously, had a shoulder issue there when he made the tackle out in open field there. But, this is part of the game. I mean, it's a violent game out there, and certainly, guys get beat up during the course of a season. And, he did, came out of the game there for a little bit, but went back in and everything checked out. And, he came back out and finished strong.
When you talk about the defense executing better, how high up on that list is the tackling? Because there was one play in particular where I know Kenny Clark got dinged up for a second, but there were at least 3 to 4 missed tackles on that play. How concerning is missed tackles early in the season?
I think there's a fine line there between, wrapping up and tackling and punching the ball out. And certainly, we're stressing turnovers and getting the ball, and we want to punch the ball out. But sometimes you sacrifice a little on your tackling accuracy when you go for the punch outs. And that's certainly something I know they're going to continue to look at, the give and take that comes with that. But as you know, you've watched the games, when these defenses go for the punch outs, they're not wrapping up. They're slamming down on the ball and trying to get the ball out and not necessarily wrapping up and, taking the runner to the ground. So there's a fine line there, but, there's it's a full body of work of what we got to improve on the defensive side of the ball. I do think we're doing some really good things defensively and stopping the run, but, we just got a lot of work to do, and we're going to go to work.
Does it, has there been any, do you think there will be any extra focus specifically in the first half? Because I know you said it's the full body of work for the defense, but this defense has really put the team in a hole in these first halves, giving up an average of 19.3 points in the first half alone.
Yeah, I mean, we've just, I think it seeps into, the full game. I mean, if you start out strong, it obviously helps. We got a great 3-and-out to start the Chicago Bear game, but obviously we gave up some big plays there in the first half that led to touchdowns, and we've just got to continue to practice hard and execute and have that roll over into the games. That we execute during the games and play the type of defense we need to play to win football games.
Stephen, I think it was about half the plays that Dak had for passing were too high safety, and I'm just kind of curious because a lot of things. Jake Ferguson had a big game underneath yesterday, and I'm just kind of curious is there a way to beat that too high safety for Dak, or is it just we have to settle for whatever's underneath and just figure our way out there?
No, we have. Certainly we feel like we can beat too high safeties for big plays. It certainly helps when you game plan with CeeDee being in the game. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of taking what they were giving us there. But we certainly have, too high coverage beaters in our offense that we feel good about. And at the same time, we can execute. And as you said, Ferguson had a real nice game there underneath yesterday. I do feel like we're running the ball well.
Yeah.
And we're going to get our opportunities to make our own explosive plays.
Yesterday after the game, Jerry did say that he still believes this is a playoff team. And I don't necessarily need you to speak for Jerry on this, but if that's the belief within the walls of that place, is it because there's still a lot of season left, because you see some growth? What are your feelings on what he said there?
Oh, I do. I mean, that's why we're in the business for is to get in the tournament. And we've got a lot of work to do. We certainly understand that. We think we've got a lot of good things that are going for this team. And we do think we should only get better as the season progresses. And, one of the guys in the locker room said, hey, this is a 17-round fight, and we're only in the third round. So we've got obviously got a lot of work to do, but we feel like, that with this coaching staff and with this group of players that we'll do the things that we have to do to be successful.
When you talk about a lot of good things to take away from this team so far, obviously a lot of fans are looking for positives today. I know you talked about the positivity of doing well against in the run defense and then doing well running the ball. Are there any other particular aspects or players or anything that you're like, hey, this is working early on?
Well, I think we can move the ball, throwing the ball. I think Dak's having, he's having a great year so far. I mean, that was unfortunate on the pick to Pickens, where it unfortunately bounced up in the air off his hands. But, I do think we can move the ball against anybody. And I do believe that, we're going to do the things that we have to do to execute on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the back end, to make the plays we have to make to have success.
I know there can be a fine line between showing that passion and maybe going too far. I appreciated how frustrated George Pickens was after that interception. Any issue with like the slamming of the helmet or anything like that?
I mean, that's something that Coach Schottenheimer addresses with the players. And like you said, he's an emotional guy. We've had guys like that here before, whether it's Michael Irvin or, Des Bryant. All those guys showed emotion at different times. And they're competitors, and they want to win. And when they make a play that they're not happy with, and a lot of emotion comes out. And certainly that's part of it.
And, Stephen, before we let you go, yesterday Mozzie was active. Was there a particular thing that he had done that was necessitated him being activated?
Well, Coach Schottenheimer stresses, that we compete every day. And, when he wasn't active the first 2 weeks, he's really been practicing hard. And we just felt like he deserved the chance to go out there and play, that he had practiced really well. And I think he'll continue that. I think the competition's good in there, with the tackles we have, and I think they'll continue to work at it.
Thank you very much for the time, good sir. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again next Monday.
Appreciate you guys.